In this video, I want to talk to you about Harley-Davidson. The demise, the decline, some say it will be that, others disagree. So, let's talk about what Harley-Davidson really means in 2026. So as of the second quarter, Harley-Davidson worldwide has sold 42,000 or just over 42,000 motorcycles. That is down in Europe by 3 to 4%-ish, give or take. They've put their forecast for worldwide motorcycle sales up to 138,500 motorcycles. We're now just start coming into August. In Europe, we definitely see the decline. But is it really Harley-Davidson that are causing the decline? Is it the overpriced motorcycles? Or is it a motorcycle market that's not being met because of financial demand or problems that we're all facing in our European countries that the Americans just don't have? Or maybe they just don't have it the same way that we do when it comes to land of the free will. Now, one telltale sign here in the UK is that we like selection. We like to walk into motorcycle dealerships because they're quite few and far between really here and have a selection of bikes to go to. So we had the Superbike factory that has just gone bust. It's just gone into administration hands, and the circling rumours around that is essentially money, the way they treat people, service and poor products. So buying bikes from auctions, putting them in, selling them quick, no real after sales service. That generally seems to be the denominator. But for Harley-Davidson, you walk into the very few Harley-Davidson dealerships that we do have, and there's very few bikes there. Some of the bigger stores, Harley World, Chesterfield, they have more selection, but a lot of them are outpriced in the market. There's a lot of people that walk in there with the hopes and dreams of eventually owning one, and you end up going down the route of buying a second-hand bike off Facebook Marketplace because the price is just better. It's a better price point for you as that working man or woman that just wants to get on a Harley and ride for what Harleys are really designed for. But in April 2026, Harley-Davidson bought out the Back to Bricks scheme, which is designed to reduce the amount of inventory that Harley-Davidson dealerships hold in stock, which for any man and his dog, you'd probably think that that is to try and drive demand, but actually it's probably more to do with tariffs, shipping and having dead stock in showrooms that's just not really selling here in Europe. I know that the Harley-Davidson community in the UK is a lot bigger than you probably think, but you do see them predominantly in summertime months. But if you go over the pond into Europe, continental Europe, and the German-speaking nations like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, where they have these beautiful mountain roads that twist through the landscapes, they are absolutely made for touring motorcycles, which isn't a surprise that Harley-Davidson sports and touring models did quite well. But it's really not enough to help Harley-Davidson dig itself out the cesspit that it finds itself in. Although Harley-Davidson has sold very few bikes in Europe, when you actually look at the European market, it's just shy of 640,000 motorcycles, scooters, 50cc plus that have been sold. Why is Harley-Davidson only selling a small amount? Now, for me personally, I have hopes, aspirations and dreams of one day having several Harley-Davidsons, and that's something I will continue to work for. And I'm sure that you are watching this interested in Harley-Davidson. If you don't own one, that you have that dream of owning one. So ask yourself, what is the blockage? What's stopping you from going out and buying yourself a Harley-Davidson? When it comes to what you can do, what you can explore, where you can go on a Harley-Davidson, there really is no motorcycle that matches it. It is a phenomenal brand that sells a phenomenal product of high quality. And really, my bike, we've been through some torments with it, and we've had such a good time. And I will long live to carry on riding this motorcycle. And I find myself absolutely twisted on the idea of going to a different motorcycle brand because of the way that Harley-Davidson and riding this particular motorcycle makes me feel. when I'm on an open road. And I've said this previously in some videos about speed. Now, a lot of motorcycle riders like the endurance of high speed adrenaline and really setting themselves onto the limits of human anxiety and everything else that comes with riding a motorcycle fast. But for me, I like to sit back and with my feet stretched out, my arms up on my ape hangers, and really take the ride in, enjoying the scenery, the beautiful twisting roads, the sunsets, the sunrises, what you can do when you can go motorcycle camping. There's so much you can do with a Harley-Davidson. But for me, a real big factor, and always will be, is price point. I have that dream of owning a road glide, and I would love to go out and buy one, but I simply can't afford one right now. But what does that really mean for Harley-Davidson and Artie Starrs, the new CEO of Harley-Davidson? Well, we know that the Livewire was a massive flop because realistically, we don't want electric motorcycles. As fun as they are, as quick as they are, they're impractical. They're not ready for the real reason why you ride a Harley-Davidson, for long touring. But we know that Artie Starrs wants to innovate and really bring new production to Harley-Davidson, modernise it, and try and grab a younger audience and get younger riders into Harley-Davidson. I know there's plans for the 883 to come back in 2027, which is exciting because that was arguably one of their best-selling bikes of all time. The Sportster has been an icon of the brand. But why? Price point, smaller, easier to ride, more flexible for a more dynamic audience. The kind of riders that ride Sportsters are the mass sale production. They are the people that are going to go out and buy them. They're going to finance them, they're going to save up for them, whatever it may be, and they're going to buy themselves that bar hopper. And that's the good introduction into the brand. But once you've done that, where do you go next? Going somewhere next with the brand really counts on what you want to do. So let's say you bought your bar hopper. Let's say you're going from bar to bar, you're having a good time. You're riding local, you're doing maybe 50, 60 miles on a Sunday afternoon. But then one morning you wake up and decide, I fancy a 2,000-mile trip around Europe or across America or around Asia, whatever it may be. What are you going to do next? You're going to buy something that's slightly bigger. Maybe an old Dyna, maybe an old Softail, maybe a new Softail, maybe a touring bike, a street glide. Whatever it may be, you're going to then go into the brand or go further into the brand. Well, that's what they're trying to captivate. That's what they're trying to get. But how does Harley-Davidson really keep people within the brand? We know that their biggest rival, Indian Motorcycles, have spent a little bit of time shit talking on the internet about Harley-Davidson, and realistically there's some people that are going, rock on, go on Indian, go out there, shake a stick at them. But really the vast majority of us are going, that's not what we need. We need these two brands to work side by side so they can carry on being competitors in a real market and bring out motorcycles that matter to us, the people, the consumer, the people that want to ride them. So Harley-Davidson have planned to introduce the new Deadwood motorcycle, and what a fantastic homage to Harley-Davidson that is. I personally think that the Deadwood is a phenomenal motorcycle. It's great in its looks. It uses the modern technology of the Softail, so it's comfortable, and it does have all of the accessories that you need, the creature comforts, the adapters for heated clothing, the ride modes, the cruise control. All those kinds of things come with this motorcycle, but it has that stripped back raw appeal. Now, I think Harley-Davidson have hit the nail on the head with that motorcycle. But Harley-Davidson isn't done just that for 2026. They brought back the Super Glide, and that is another great homage to Harley-Davidson's era of custom bikes, or the look and traditional feel of a custom made motorcycle, but again with all the modern technologies of a motorcycle that you would think Harley-Davidson would create, or what somebody could create in their garage with very few tools or just a few beers and a couple of open dreams. You can create motorcycles that look stylish and really vivid in colour. But in this one, you've got the modern 5-gallon tank, you've got the great miles per gallon, you've got everything that comes with it, the rider modes, and this one is priced at a much better market value. It's just under 15,000 US dollars. So when that lands in the UK, I can imagine that of those 2,500 made, they will sell pretty fast. But it has that common denominator of a price point where people can afford it, or they can justify spending that kind of money. Now, do we talk about price point all the time, or do we just beat Harley-Davidson up with a stick? But in actual fact, I think Harley-Davidson are just meeting inflation. I don't retrospectively think that Harley-Davidson have changed the price points or put prices up through the roof. I think they're trying to maintain quality, and they're trying to maintain the build infrastructure where they can really keep it as in-house as possible. There is one thing for sure though, having talked about everything that we spoke about so far, is there is no culture like Harley-Davidson culture. Last year, FACMC in Austria, Harley-Davidson Bike Week, saw in excess of, I would say, 100,000 people attend across the few days that that event was going. Sturgis, like we say, is August, and Daytona Bike Week. You've got the Hog Rally in Portugal that has just happened back in June. And there really isn't a brand that really drums home culture, community, family in orientated motorcycles as Harley-Davidson does. So I think that there's many more years left in this brand, and I think that realistically it's not going anywhere, or at least I don't hope so. And I think we should all together as a motorcycle community take away the cliquey sides of it. I ride this, you ride that, and let's just enjoy our motorcycles for exactly what they are. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please consider hitting like, hit subscribe, help me grow the channel, and until the next one, peace.